Well, no, I think it's just difficult giving awards when films are so very different from each other, you know. I mean, there's documentaries and then there's narratives, and some are more happy and some are very dark, and so it's not apples to apples. They're all very different. So it's difficult because they all have something wonderful about them. And my life changed a lot from that award. Strangely, immediately people were like, oh, like they thought you have some more value than you had before. So that's a strange thing. But it's also such a wonderful, surprising thing. I never really imagined that for myself. Even though when I was little, in the bathtub, I would hold the bottle and say like, I want to thank the Academy, the shampoo, yeah, for this beautiful shampoo. Yeah. Yes, well, I mean, my parents were activists, but they were also actors. So in a weird way, you could say I'm really not that original because it was such a formative part of our everyday experience. Acting, joking, improvising, making skits and stories, and then there was all the political talk, and my mom was also demonstrating and volunteering for things, and I've been writing a book for a long time, a memoir, and really it's all about my childhood because it so clearly relates to my work as an actor and my activism and everything. Yeah, I do believe that we all have our part, and watching Walter Salles' movie the other night, I'm Still Here. Yes, movies can be incredibly motivating and moving and informative about politics and about right and wrong and, you know, all of that. But it still does boil down to us, each individually. And what we believe and what we're willing to put up with and what we're willing to allow so that we can have this other thing. We have to really look at those things now, I think. And sorry, I just wanted to say, I'm also very aware that technology has changed things in a way that we may not anticipate. How it may eclipse our freedom in ways we have never even imagined. I love the Moroccan Film Festival. I love Morocco. I came here a year and a half ago as a tourist because it had always been my dream to come to Morocco. The people are so warm and generous. The art, I mean, from the architecture to the clothing is all incredible. And I met a bunch of wonderful Moroccan designers like Obiash, Hanout, Marrakchi Life, and so I've been wearing them for the big events at the festival. The people are so generous and warm here. I have seen some Moroccan films, but I'm not talking about any of the films because I am a juror and I do not talk about films. There's so many incredible directors, and I've worked with, as you said, some of the greatest, and each one has their own process, and they're also generous when you have questions, or they have such great insights about work, and the way that their mind each works is so different. And even here, directors I haven't worked with, like Jeff Nichols or Jeremy, there's Luca, who's on our jury. I mean, Santiago, who's on our jury, Ali, who's on our jury. I mean, Zoya. I'm just learning so much from all of these directors around me, and it's incredible to see their insight. And there's so many directors I want to work with still, and I'm still here, people. I'm still working, okay? Well, I wouldn't say I think this is the right time. I have been working on this memoir for so many years. And, you know, part of the issue was that new things kept developing in my life, and I feel like, oh my gosh, where am I going to end this thing? And then also, I do love writing so much, but it's terrifying to me. It's It's like I'd almost rather swim with sharks and let anyone read it, you know? It's so intimate. I think that's part of it. And when I was originally writing it, then my sister Alexis got sick and she was dying. And then I couldn't write anything. It was just too painful to even look back on our childhood and she and I playing or any of these things. And so I'm back at it again and I'm going to finish it and, you know, as very imperfect as it is, finish it. But part of the reason I wanted to write it was I think my mind works in an interesting way. It's very circuitous, the way that I think. It's very circular, and I didn't really feel like a ghostwriter would find interest in the things that I think are interesting. Yeah, I think healthy anger is a natural emotion, and I think many times growing up with parents, you know, like I did, who were born, you know, quite a while ago, we were kind of subconsciously conditioned to behave a certain way. And it's very healthy to express healthy anger and to know how to process it. I didn't grow up with any of the language of conflict and healthy communication about conflict and being able to listen to each other and being able to soothe ourselves and how to process things and how to repair. So I haven't learned that myself in my family of origin. I am only starting to learn it now, so I've never experienced it in a relationship, really. And I don't think this is anything taught in school, so we haven't learned as a society to do this either. What are healthy emotions? Can we be okay with them? And healthy anger, yeah, when your rights are being taken away, it's okay to be angry about that. That makes sense. That's not off-putting. Hopefully, we resolve that issue as a society so we don't need to be angry anymore about this thing. Unfortunately, these are not skills we've learned. And if we did globally learn these skills, to feel our feelings and to hold our feelings and to soothe ourselves and to process things, there would not be war. And there would not be elected leaders that are clearly incredibly dysfunctional and unwell. Yeah, I mean, some of the films, I can't talk about them really, but it does make me reflect on myself as a sort of fledgling director and maybe different choices I could have made along the way. I think it's incredibly brave, and these people all had very limited budgets, and really they all took a lot of chances, and there's a purity of vision, I think, also, and a heart to everything when you have these new filmmakers. I'm editing at night my first feature, Gonzo Girl, so we're doing a little recut of that, which is kind of interesting, because I feel like now I've made the international version, which takes a little more time and doesn't hold your hand through everything. And then now I'm working on the American version, which is more sort of clearly defined and a little bit shorter. So that's an interesting experiment to me as a filmmaker as I learn things. Sean Penn is incredible talent. We worked together on The Indian Runner when I was very young, and you know, he's also an incredible actor. And because of that, the space and support and ideas that he had for us as actors were incredible on that movie. And I've continued to love his directing. He has a certain interest, I think, in a certain style that's much more like films of the 70s. And I miss films like that, and I think he does a great job. I'm honestly not sure that a lot of the things that they conceded to will really be able to hold up, or that people will honor them. We are like on the precipice of this industrial age of film and this technological transition, and maybe some very interesting good things will come out of it, and some terrible things, you know. Like anything in life, we have to master whatever it is in balance.